and let us all do we can to build a better future.
Let's address it. James Carville, you know, that liberal on CNN, you know, a network that's hemorrhaging viewers, talks about Dr. Cornel West being a spoiler and more Green Party slander. So apparently, James Carville is saying that Dr. Cornel West is a menacing threat to the continued constitutional order of the United States. Oh, no, the order. The order. And Dr. Jill Stein is certainly an agent of the Russian government. Goes on to say too again how again Dr. West is a spoiler. Look, let me just tell you this again. I'm gonna keep on saying this on the show, and this is going to trigger the vote blue no matter who people. I am going to take it as a matter of pride to vote for either Dr. Cornel West. And if Dr. Cornel West is not in the ballot and the Libertarians are there, I'm going to vote Libertarian. If the Libertarians not there, it's going to be Independent. If there's not going to be nobody there, I'll fill in the blank. And if there's no fill in the blank, guess what? I won't vote Democrat or Republican. Okay? I don't have to do what you tell me to do because you're angered at me on social media. Guess what? Vote blue no matter who. If you really want me to be your Huckleberry, guess what? There are far more antagonistic people on social media than yours truly. Okay. So, you know, just a heads up, vote blue. Try your fear tactics again. See how it plays out. But here, I want you all to be angry and righteously so. Let's check out this jagoff right here.
Here, Dr. West, what is your reaction to what he had to say? Do you think he rejects the term spoiler candidate. Do you think he could be?
Well, first of all, he's obviously an accomplished scholar, academic. He seems to be a
wait for it. First, he's saying nice things, and then
very charming man. And he's also a minister to the threat of the continued constitutional order in the United States.
Oh, God, no.
And if I say that because look what Ralph Nader was directly responsible for the election of George W. Bush, which brought this.
No, that's not true. Ralph Nader's not responsible for that. I can't help it if Al Gore ran a terrible campaign and that he was a snorefest. Just like I can't help that Hillary Clinton ran a terrible campaign. And that's been admitted by a lot of people in the media. She ran a terrible campaign. Don't cry about it. You just had a weak old horse.
Horrific Iraq war and this horrific economic downturn we had, among other things. Jill Stein, who's his campaign manager, is almost certainly an agent of the Russian government. If you don't believe me, somebody at home, Google photo, General Flynn, Vladimir Putin, Jill Stein. She was hosted by the Russians prior to her running in 2016.
God forbid someone who goes to an international event was invited. God forbid. Hey, did you know Donald Rumsfeld once met a guy, first name Saddam, last name Hussein? I don't know. What about all the times a lot of our elected leaders met dictators and tyrants who would soon become enemies of our country? Yeah? No? Yes? No? Come on, Carville. The old dog. You know that dog don't hunt.
So, you know, people are going to have to decide, do we want to continue under our Constitution? Because Donald Trump is telling us that very clearly, is bragging about the fact that he doesn't want to live under the Constitution anymore. And it's very clear that the only thing that Dr. West's candidacy can do is help elect Donald Trump. It's nothing. I don't think any of that's inarguable, nor is it arguable that Jill Stein had deep relationships with the Russian government.
So let me ask you, because you know the argument that Ralph Nader put forward, you know the argument that Jill Stein has put forward, Dr. West mentioned it again tonight, that a lot of those people who voted for Jill Stein or Ralph Nader would not have voted for any of the mainstream candidates, and therefore they did not suck away votes from Hillary Clinton.
Exactly. I was not going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And personally, the reason why, not because she was a woman, but because she was a terrible, corrupt, neoliberal candidate and the actions of the Democratic Party in Philadelphia. Yes, vote blue no matter who. You can live in your little bubble and say, oh, the convention was peace and love. That's not what I saw. No, and I won't debate you. I won't talk about it with you because I know what I saw. I saw what happened to Bernie Sanders delegates and volunteers. Don't act stupid with me. Don't you dare ever act stupid with me. I remember the DNC convention in Philly in 2016, and no one should ever forget it. And I made that decision right then and there. Hillary won't have my vote. And probably because it's my trigger, vote blue no matter who people more. I will make it my life goal to see the rise of third parties, of independents, and the eventual abolishment of political parties. Why? Because I want to live rent-free in a lot of people's heads. I want to be that bad guy. I want to be the terror. Because the thing is, vote blue no matter who will never take that initiative and realize that the Democratic Party never needed your vote. The game is rigged from the start, lovelies. Because the DNC doesn't like you. They don't think about you. And they will never respect you. They'll say things you want to hear, but like an abusive spouse will smack you in that mouth and tell you to shut up. So until then, when vote blue no matter who, when you're ready to be adults, when you're ready to leave your abusive relationship, we will welcome you here with open arms. It's understandable. Yes, it's frightening to think for yourself. It's frightening to break away from the mindset. But then it becomes liberating.
Or would not hurt votes from Biden here.
Well, how could I argue with that? I'm sure that some of it's true, some of it's not true.
I mean, there's no way to know whether somebody could tell a pollster, oh, no, of course I wouldn't vote for any other candidate, but who knows how people would vote.
I can't disprove that, nor what I want to. But what I do know, there was Russian help that were telling black voters in Detroit to vote at the wrong place or to vote on Wednesday.
Oh, look, he's talking about how voters were told to vote the wrong place. Huh. But let me just say this. You know, it's not like the DNC didn't do that during 2016, during the primary. Carville, you're lucky Nico House isn't here right now because he'd be snapping on you right now.
Wednesday and not Tuesday. I do know.
So real quick here. I want to pull up this next video here because, again, James Carville wants to act like a stupid idiot. So let's pull up the rest of this video here because, again, slandering third parties.
I do know that Jill Stein was in Moscow, was sitting with General Michael Flint, with Vladimir Putin, was on Russian TV from Red Square, attacking the United States itself. And I do know, I'm told, that's his campaign manager, and it's the same outfit that cost us the election in 2000, could have very well cost us the election in 2016. And I'm just sitting here with a clear present warning. Don't fall for this. Do not fall for this. Only bad can come about this.
Only bad? How? The Democratic Party, and yes, even the Republican Party, if they want to win, they got to earn votes. Now, thankfully, they do have enough brainwashed people to vote Democrat or Republican, okay? I'm not one of those people. So guess what? The DNC and RNC are both the same. They both take corporate donations. I'm tired of listening to this crap of, oh, you got to vote Democrat. You have to vote Democrat. Please vote Democrat. Why? When I get nothing in return. You want my respect? Earn it. You want my support? Earn it. You want me to fight for you? Show me that you'll fight for me. And guess what, Democrats? You've shown me nothing, you suckers. You've shown me nothing but the consistency of failure. So, I'm not going to fight for you, and I won't lift a finger. So, I encourage people, look, I understand a lot of you are burnt out by electoral politics, but you want to do a favor? Hey, vote third party, vote independent, break away from the two-party system.
Yes.
What about Joe Manchin? Do you think he actually is serious?
I hope not. And they keep saying that no labels, if they think it's going to help Trump, they won't run. Well, I can tell you right now, it's going to help Trump. There's not a...
Again, look, anyone who thinks that no labels is a maverick idea, because, again, you got Joe Manchin, maybe Kristen Sinema, possibly, I don't know, whoever else. Just remember, it's a Republican, Democratic, centrist think tank idea, okay? It is nothing good. This guy Manchin is a centrist, okay? The people of West Virginia don't like him either, okay? But he is a corrupt neoliberal Democrat. And by the way, anyone who's saying that Sinema is a maverick too, listen, conservatives, libertarians, Republican voters, I hear what you're saying, her being a maverick, right? But let me just educate you guys on this. Just here's my warning. Take it or leave it. She stabbed the activist community in the back. She used to be part of the Green Party. She stabbed them in the back. She stabbed the progressive Justice Democratic people in the back. She stabbed even the vote blue, no matter who, Democrats in the back. Pay attention to the bodies on the floor and the knives that are in them. Don't look me in the eye and say, oh, she won't do that to me. Yes, she will. This isn't open for debate. Now, if you want to think she's a maverick, fine. Just when you feel that cold steel in the back, just be like, huh, Hardland's media told me she was going to do that. Why didn't I listen?
A single that I know would argue otherwise. And plus, their argument is just flatly ridiculous on his face that Trump and Biden represent two extremes. I mean, Trump is obviously one of the most extreme people in the United States. Biden is certainly not an extreme man.
He was against busing and desegregation. He wrote the crime bill. He gave a eulogy to Strom Thurmond, worked with Republican segregationists, yelled and humiliated Anita Hill, has not one but numerous accusations of assault, voted for the war in Iraq, sided with credit card corporations to make student debt what it is. Now that he's in office, he never once followed through with any of his campaign promises to Biden, or not to Biden, but to Bernie. No Medicare for all, no student debt forgiveness, no rise minimum wage, nothing for helping out struggling students. Roe v. Wade died under his watch. Affirmative action. You know, if all this happened under Trump, I could see all the pink pussy hats crowding the streets. Resistance, resistance, resistance. You know what I'd say about you social justice warriors who wore those pink hats? I'm glad that you had a chance to play make-believe. Because that's all what you're good at. Make-believe. Did you really believe those protests changed the world? That one moment you holding that special sign made you look pretty and nice and maybe thought-provoking? People were like, wow. The answer is no. The world is still moving on its tilted axis. And it never mattered. So when Trump wins the Republican primary and potentially wins the general election, I'm going to personally laugh at your protests, especially as they herd you in that little sheep pen right across Trump Tower, across the river. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to laugh. I will try and be professional. I will try, because I only cover one of those protests and then that's it. But I will try and be professional, but I will be laughing.
And you may say he's more liberal than I would like, but to equate the two of them is absurd. But I think that when they get closer to this decision, at least I hope that they see that the only thing that they can do is help elect Trump. And it's a shame, but President Biden, the Democrats are being caught by the leftists on one side, and I don't know what you'd call the no labels people, but kind of.
They're centrist, buddy. And I think we're done listening to you. This is the problem with Democrats. This is the problem with a lot of these liberals. They're stuck in their own little bubble where they can't really think for themselves, and they can't really take the initiative to see the real problem of voting Democrat. They're unable to really be serious about, fighting and doing the right thing. Dr. Cornel West has done nothing wrong. He is fighting for his right to be on the ballot, to be on the debate stage, to challenge the two-party system. And I, for one, encourage Dr. Cornel West to do the right thing. I encourage this third-party run. I encourage people to actually step up and fight back. I just want to pull up this one last article right here, okay? And this has to deal with, again, Dr. West calling out Biden's past connections to segregationists. Because again, Carville, Biden was on the wrong side of history. Oops. Nope, we don't. No one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that. Sorry for the commercial. Again, Biden, he's been on the wrong side of history. Always. So, of course, I'm glad that Dr. Cornel West is doing the right thing. Again, look at all these people that Biden associated himself with. These are known segregationists. These are known people who did not want to see integration. Biden was on the wrong side of history. But you won't hear the liberals say that. The vote blue, no matter who people say that. Because they have a grift themselves, and that is to keep people afraid. And I say, break away from that mindset.